So now we've got our right triangle, we set everything up, and I've taken the liberty to substitute in the values I do know and try to solve for the one I don't know. And again, I am pretending like I can't, I don't know how to tell if this particular triangle can be constructed or not. I'm just using the law of sines. First, I construct a bizarre triangle. I label it so I know what my vertices are, and I substitute in values that I do know, and then I use the law of sines. This formula is just applying the law of sines. Law of sines. And then I do the basic algebra to solve. Basically, I want to get sine by itself, so I do cross multiplication or whatever to get past here. I'm going to multiply sine a times both sides and multiply the reciprocal of this fraction times both sides. And I'm going to get sine a by itself. And I have this 25.5 meters times the sine of 65 degrees all over all over 9.94 meters. And this is stuff I have to plug into my calculator. So I have Microsoft Windows. This is a calculator that comes with Microsoft Windows, which is similar to probably like a cheap old scientific calculator. This calculator works in a particular way, so let's just find out if we can plug in these values, get the right answer. Notice that I'm going to need trig functions, and if I click on the option for scientific, this trig function menu comes up. Also, I'm going to be working in degrees, and I can just click on here to switch between different ways of measuring an angle. Moving along, I'm going to say what I really need to do is plug in this expression into this calculator. And so some of this calculator is off screen, but you can see the numbers pop up. I'm going to put in this 25.5 whatever units we're looking here, I guess meters, times, and here I'm going to put parentheses because I'm not entirely sure about this calculator's order of operations. So I have to force it to do the right order of operations I intend. So the way this calculator works is that, so I'm putting in parentheses to say, okay, I want to make sure I calculate the trig value before I do the multiplication. The way the calculator works is that I've got to plug in the angle first and then use the trig function. Opposite of how I have written in my paper. But so I put in the 65 degrees. Now I go ahead and select the appropriate trig function. I'm using the sine. Yay! And I close parentheses to say that operation is done. I'm ready to do the multiplication. I press equals. That is the numerator of my fraction. Now what I want to do is go ahead and divide my numerator by my denominator. I don't have to do any special calculations because it's already given to me. And so I do 9.94. Whatever it is, you'll see that when I get here, which I'll approximate, is the left side of sine of A, the angle I don't know, is equal to this crazy long decimal. I'm going to approximate saying sine of A is approximately equal to 2.3. I really don't even care about the decimal because at this point I am absolutely sure that if I try to do inverse sine to both sides to figure out what that angle is, I'm going to get an error on my calculator. And that's because the number I'm plugging inside my inverse sine is bigger than 1, and I don't, or in other words, there's no way my sine can give me a number bigger than 1. That's just not a property of sine. So just from this work alone, I can tell there's no solution. No such triangle can be constructed. The geometric reason why would be of the same argument that I gave when I was giving out the types of side-side angle triangles, but the algebraic reason why is just because there's no angle that we know of that can give you a value that can make your sine have a value larger than 1.